Hello everyone from Studio 10 in Kilkenny. Coffee with Ania and very special guest, Paul Cummins. How are you, Paul?
I'm good.
Good. I want to start maybe from something small because I got the message. I was doing the little research about you and the few words before we say what you're doing in Ireland. This is from completely different person. You know that person probably. Maybe when you hear the sentences you realize who is it. He's a man who loves the game and looked after the people around him. I like having one-on-one conversation with Paul. It is always interesting, whatever it is about the new hockey gear or where things are at with the team. He is a great person and always respect his players. He invariably goes to the goal of constructing or funding a new building for hockey training and has not given up for many years, involving a large number of influential people in this problem. Do you recognize the person who said that? I can tell you later on. Paul, first of all, I have to say I was prepared for our
very good
for our conversation, and I can't actually decide which one top because I have another one under. But we can stay with this one. Maybe we start from the beginning in your life, because what was first? Yeah, kickboxing or hockey?
Kickboxing. I started kickboxing. I actually started karate when I was 10. It's a strange story. I was involved in an accident when I was 9, and it badly damaged my leg, and it would nearly had to be amputated.
Oh my God!
So during the recovery and had a couple of operations, I wanted to do karate, and nobody thought I would have been able because of the injuries and stuff like that. So when I was well enough, I started karate, and then just from there it built up to kickboxing. I found out I was decent enough at it, stayed at it, trained hard at it. Moved to full contact kickboxing, trained 4, 5, 6 times a week, and travelled the world, and then became a professional fighter and a world champion.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's
something
started,
amazing.
Yeah.
You grew up in Ireland, yeah?
Born and bred in Kilkenny.
Oh, amazing. And when the hockey, because I'll be honest with you, when I came to Ireland, I heard that Ireland have a players with the hockey. I was surprised, like, hockey in Ireland?
Yeah, so probably back in the very early 2000s, a couple of guys in Kilkenny started playing just on the street with a ball, and someone had a hockey stick, and it kind of evolved into a team because there's a lot of roller hockey in Ireland. And I sponsored actually the first game I run a business, a gym in Kilkenny, and my brother asked me to sponsor the game, and I told him I would, that I'd just give the money, and he said no, come down and have a look. And I went down, and I was busy. I just had 5 minutes. An hour and a half later I was still there watching, and the week after I started. And what people know about me is, and I always say that I get sports. I'm pretty good at most sports. It's the rest of life I struggle with. I like high impact, sports. I like fast sports, and this was just right down my alley. I was coming to the end of my fighting career. I had a couple of injuries. I had my shoulder torn and sewn back on, and things were slowing down kickboxing wise. And I suppose I was looking for something else, and
that was a hockey.
Yeah, I don't know if hockey found me or I found hockey. It's hard to know.
And that was easy actually to get like a people involved on the beginning.
No, it's same with all minority sports in Ireland. It's very hard to get anything supported. When I started kickboxing, I took over the club when I was 17 years of age, and I've been running the kickboxing since. And back then, kickboxing was looked upon, I suppose, like MMA was when it started. It was, kicking a man and all that kind of stuff was very looked down upon. It wasn't considered a sport. It was considered cockfighting, but of course we all know now it's the evolution of sport.
Everything is actually changed in Ireland, because I came in 2005. I remember on that time, if you see the people in evening, doing a jogging, they was always the same people. Not more than maybe 10 every evening, the same. Like at the moment it's plenty people, they are going to gym to have some sport, and I thought there was a gym.
I genuinely think Ireland are at least 10 to 15 years behind most countries. I travelled a lot. You would never see anybody skating in Ireland on the streets, around the ring road as an exercise. But yet when you went to Europe, people would inline skate down the road with earphones and like what you'd see in California. But they'd skate as like somebody would jog. And that now you'd see it. A lot of people just skating, cycling, on skateboards, just getting from A to B. Scooters, now you see them everywhere. But they were in Europe 15 years ago,
That's true, yeah.
So I always feel when it comes to these things that we're a good 15 years behind. Exercise was the same. You're heavily involved in fitness and stuff like that. And, yoga was huge in Europe long before it came here. It was kind of a strange thing. And now it's huge. Again, 15 years behind and so on. Step aerobics.
I remember the Euro gym. Yeah. That was the one gym actually in Kilkenny.
Yeah, they used to do it, and again, it was a very strange thing and hard to push. And when people found it, they enjoyed it. It's something different.
And there was always plenty of people not Irish. I remember they only like some professional Irish. Somebody was like a bodybuilder, someone do with something like a kickboxing, and of course you. And then it's all like Lithuanian, Russian, Polish, everyone.
It's I really think that, again, like Irish immigrants going abroad brought the hurling and the GAA around the world as they do, immigrants coming here bringing like better kickboxing, hockey now, and all other sports. Like we have American football here, and we have all these lacrosse and different sports that are strange sports. But Irish people, we pride ourselves on being good at sports and stuff like that.
Yes.
It just takes a while for us to accept it and understand it, But I just feel in everything, especially in sports, where we're 10 to 15 years behind most of the world.
When you start actually with Storm, there was straight away kids, or that was building little bit slowly?
No, I'm a very determined and stubborn man. Just ask my wife; she'll tell you. So I started a junior program when the Ice Dome opened in Belfast, which was probably around 2007, 2008. So in Kilkenny, I started a junior program, and I probably for 2 years wouldn't have more than 5 kids. Some days nobody would turn up, some days 2 would turn up. And I built it from there. I never gave up. I kept pushing it, and my own kids started to play, and they brought some friends. And then in 2010, the Kilkenny and Ice started in Kilkenny. And that kind of brought it to the public because, we were ice marshalling, and any kid that could skate, we'd spoke to them, or during the breaks, we'd take out our hockey sticks and our puck and we'd play a little bit, and people would ask, and it kind of, brought it to people. They saw us doing it, and we built up a program from there to being one of the best junior clubs in the country.
You have 5 kids.
I have 5 kids, yeah.
One girl, or there is like a 2
3 boys and 2 girls.
And 2 girls, and they are play as well.
Yeah. One, Kobe, the middle boy, is in college, so he hasn't played in a while. But my 2 other boys played. This year alone, they played for Ireland. Zach, the oldest, was in Germany playing with the senior men's team. The younger boy, Bryce, was in Montreal just recently, and my oldest daughter is only back from Kuwait, where she played. She's the youngest player ever to play for Ireland. She was with the senior ladies team, and she played over there in the Development Cup. And my youngest daughter, Indy, plays. She's 10. She just plays locally and a few friendly games in it. But yeah, we're a family of hockey players. Yeah,
that's amazing. And tell me, how you feel when you have to, spend a lot of hours with boys? Is that hard, or the girls will be tough?
No, I
because it's different, when they are teenager, different problems sometimes when they are away from home.
Yeah, I don't know. Myself and my wife were together since we were 16. We've been through some tough times. We've been through some great times. I think we make a good team when it comes to the kids. The kids know who to come to when they need maybe something a little bit softer, or something a bit tougher, or the easier touch. Depends on the subject of what they want to do. So we work well together, and the kids kind of know how to play us. I don't. You're right. It is different. You treat boys and girls slightly differently when it comes to
Especially like a travel with kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tougher on the girls in the middle when it comes to travel because there's not that many. So when I travel with the boys, it's a van full of boys.
Yes.
And when I travel with the girls, it's usually one girl or maybe two, and it's not as fun. But they make it work.
That's good.
Make it
That's
work,
very good. That's your family is very actually involved with the sport. And I think so. It's not only the Paul Cummins, it's also Patsy, your wife, behind everything.
Yeah, of course. Behind every man, there's a great woman, that's for sure. But me and Patsy met in the kickboxing club.
Oh.
She also played hockey for a little while until family life got too busy. But of course, she supports everything. Nothing works unless she gives it approval and works in the background. Everything. People say I do a great job, but her job is an awful lot tougher than when I'm away.
She helped a lot as well with the traveling or all the march. Yeah.
Everything, every aspect of it. And again, she doesn't get the credit that I would get. She deserves far more.
I have actually another one comment, and it's I don't think Paul realized the positive impact he has on so many families, not just the children. Seeing our children participate and thrive in the environment he has created is amazing. We appreciate everything he does, the weekly training session, transporting our kids to games and trials, accompanying them on national trips for many years is a huge undertaking. We appreciate everything he does. We also understand that he could do what he does without the support of Patsy.
It's true. It's so true, yeah.
That's amazing, actually, to have someone like this, on your back.
Yeah, it'd be impossible to do without it. That's 100%.
Yeah. I saw actually the place where you train with kids, and it's not really something perfect, if we can be kind.
Yeah, that's a very kind, alright, yeah.
What is the feeling, when you travel the world and then you see like completely different area, and everywhere is the same situation, yeah? Every city could be small, could be big, different money, different people. Like for me, when I was trying to do the research, like I don't understand one thing. There is the storm, hockey training, so many kids involved, so many good kids. You travel around the world, you travel like an Irish team. And why is everything like this is the hockey like?
It's hard to know. I tried to figure it out myself. I really do think it's an Irish thing. If I knew exactly, it might be easier to come across a little bit more sincere when I talk to politicians and stuff about it. But I'm recently only back from a round trip in Europe where I travelled to Oslo and Norway to look at facilities. And the facility was a fantastic ice rink. It had a training rink, but it also had an American football pitch. It had a skate park, and it had a multi-purpose facility hall where they had wrestling and all sorts of sports in it. And we were told that it was 20 years ago. It was a strange place. There was a lot of substance abuse and alcohol abuse, and a lot of rough area. And they slowly built it up, and they've done it with facilities, and that's the trip we went. I went to Zurich to see another facility, and then on to Belgium, and they all had the same kind of stories. They wanted their citizens to have variety. Yes. So when you think of Norway and stuff like that, skiing is their main sport, but yet here's a facility that had a skate park, and a fabulous skate park. It had an American football pitch. It also had other sports played on it, but it was predominantly an American football pitch, an ice hockey arena facility, and then an proper built indoor facility, and it was run by the city, and the city paid for it. The kids paid a nominal fee. They might have to pay €2 or €3 or something to use it, which is very small, and it was run and subsidised by the city, and all the European cities we visit seem to have the same trend. They built it for the citizens. We're here. If you're not one of the mainstream sports, which are well funded, you have FIFA.
But the sponsor can help. What do you think in that situation?
Yeah, you can, but it's very hard for anybody to sponsor a facility for sports that we're involved in.
Yes.
They're called here minority sports, and the payback as a sponsor it's not attractive enough for them, you know. So it's the same with the teams when they travel. Like to get a sponsor for Kilkenny Storm is next to impossible. You may get a couple of small friends of family that have businesses or so on, but to get a main sponsor is very, very hard because they don't get the payback that they would if they sponsored the local GAA club or the local soccer club. So it's a trend you know you try to break with success and hard work, which I think we've done, but it's very hard. We only the last couple of years start getting grants and stuff like that, you know. So but that's only going to buy equipment and stuff, but we still have the same facilities like you said. You saw it's very poor facilities, but still,
and it's not actually for that type of sport.
It's not. Let's be honest, it's not really for any kind of sport, but it's the only facility that is.
Also, it's like the Malbork is a twin city with Kilkenny. I was there 4 years ago maybe, and there is the hockey team. They send invitation for your boys. Maybe they can organize together something like a tournament. But what was for me impressive, Malbork is not a huge city. This is the same like Kilkenny, and they have ice skating on the winter time, and everyone from the city can use that. There is for public. The people can just come for the skating, do it wherever they want, and there's like a particular time only for the team. They are trained. But when the winter is finished, there is the normal floor, like it's I don't know how to explain. But
sports court,
it suits for the hockey training, for basketball, for soccer, and again, so many teams use together. The big applause because the county council built that for Malbork. The county council from Malbork, and that is amazing actually. And it's looked like only like a balloon. Yeah. I think so. We did something like this in Kilkenny.
This is what I've been spending 15 years fighting for. You know, a multi-purpose facility, not just for us, but with it. So again, if you go travel to anywhere in Ireland, you'll see these facilities like you see in the watershed. They're made for soft court sports. They have pillars, they have glass.
Yes, but also floors. Like Saturday, Sunday, birthday party, and you can use in a different way again. And support the local people, because this is not for somebody from outside. This is like local kids. Yeah. It's the Irish thing. They just like to build it. They're building halls the same way as they built them 50 years ago. Soft wooden floor, plastered walls, pillars on the inside. It makes no sense like the watershed. Watershed is a fabulous looking hall. Yes.
But parties are its biggest. It's a sports hall, but yet parties is its biggest earner, because I don't know what sport ever needs full glass wall or a full glass window the length of the hall, pillars on the inside and a plastered walls. I just can't figure out why it was built that way and not just a square structure that any sport can play, like what you explained in Malbork. And that's what cities need, not just a one-dimensional facility. A facility that can have one day basketball and indoor soccer, soft court, and the next day have the likes of inline hockey maybe and wheelchair rugby or something that's a fast and hardcore sport that can handle both. And the facility we propose, and like what you said in Malbork, they're the facilities that should be built now, not just one-dimensional ones. It's frustrating. It's very, very frustrating.
It is frustrating because like Ireland is amazing country. It's so beautiful, but unfortunately the people, they really have a depression here. There's so many problems with teenagers, which they are stuck at home with the PlayStation, and I think so all of the trainings, they make better like mental health. Your boys train twice a week, and the price per session, it's not that big like anywhere. It's again like you're doing a lot for someone, and I think so you deserve help from outside. Just do it something for those kids and for you.
I genuinely believe that all sports deserve help. Again, Ireland likes to throw money at problems, so they're throwing money at depression, they're throwing money at addiction, they're throwing money to solve it now in the short term, but they're not doing stuff to stop it in the future.
Yes.
I keep harping on about Iceland. Iceland did it. They live on the moon. They 20, 30 years ago, they had huge problems with substance abuse and depression because, like I said, they literally live on the moon. They have so much darkness. They have like I don't know, 5 months of pure darkness, 5 months of pure light, or you know, they had huge problems, but they built fantastic facilities in every country or every city, and small town would have a state-of-the-art indoor soccer pitch. We played there, we went there, and the facility we went in, there was the national team training, the soccer team that made the World Championships or the European Championships, and it was huge and fabulous. Then there was an ice rink, there was a bowling alley, there was a swimming pool, all in the same facility, run by the city for very, very little money. And you know, they set a few laws, they provided facilities, and now the country is I think it's like at 5% crime rate, which is very, very low. And they provided facilities for their kids to go to rather than hanging in the streets, and that's I'm not saying it's the answer, but it's a huge piece of the jigsaw. It is a huge piece of the jigsaw.
It is, because I always say, like, if you go to doctor and you will complain about your feeling or you are unwell, very quickly you get the prescription for antidepressants. Why somebody doesn't say you need like a good diet, involved with some sport, do it something for yourself, go outside, walk, run.
Exactly.
This is what we need.
But it surrounds you with positive people, you know, even people that are a little bit negative and have, you know, bad thoughts and stuff. Like, you put them into a situation where there's, you know, a good atmosphere and happiness and you know, exercise and all that kind of stuff, and it brings out the best in people. It brings out you know, your health, everything. It's a bigger picture, but that's again, we're 10-15 years behind in what most countries are doing. We really, really need to catch up and provide not only medical facilities for people, but like Kilkenny are going to build I don't know, something ridiculous like 10,000 houses in the next 10 years. Like, those extra 10,000 houses are probably 4 people per house. Where are they going to train? Where are they going to get involved in?
Exactly.
We don't have any. Okay, they're building a few schools. They're not new schools. They're just moving schools and making them bigger. But what about outside school hours? How about other facilities that all these people are going to need? You need to build them now, not in 10 years' time when it's too late. I think they know this, but they're just not willing to spend the money or invest in the youth now, like they did with the skate park 20 years ago. It's the kids,
I heard the story about
it's the
this,
kids of the people that needed it 20 years ago are skating in it now, and even their kids. That's you know, and it.
My friend, he will be younger than me, maybe 5-6 years, and he said when he was teenager, he was waiting for that skate park. It's still good for the kids, which one they use now.
It is, of course, but it's like I said, it's 20 years too late. You know, build it when they needed it, and like skateboarding, I think now is a world sport. I think the wheel sport championships are in Barcelona this year, and skateboarding is a big part of it. If we built it 20 years ago, we would have competitors. You know what I mean? And sport and a club rather than just a public facility. We'd have so much more by now. We'd probably have an indoor facility or private one because it would be huge. It's the same with everything, you know. And they probably could have done a better job on it. It's a very limited space. Like I said, when I was in Oslo, the skate park there was fantastic. It would be as good as anywhere in the world. But,
and do we have in Ireland actually the place where the boys can play on the ice? No. Or is only Belfast?
It's only Belfast.
Seriously?
Yeah. And of course you have the Kilkenny and ice problem where we had COVID, it shut for 2 years, and now we have insurance, which is another huge problem in Ireland.
Yes.
It's
very expensive.
It seems to be fun. They just want to insure the hell out of it and make sure we can't have fun. You know, where does it stop? You know, bouncy castles were in trouble for a long time with insurance and all this kind of, like, it's just ridiculous. Where does it stop?
It is. You know, it is. That's your team and the parents actually around. This is like a little community, I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Always together.
Yeah, I think sometimes when things are tough, like, you know, when we travel to Belfast or to Cork and you're leaving at 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning, sometimes you're going to Belfast. These kind of tough situations build a community of people that just want to help. You know, it could be simple things, you know, and I enjoy that as much as I do enjoy the kids and stuff like that. That, you know, it's a nice little community and everybody is helping everybody, whether they're playing on national teams or they just want to go and train. The parents seem to understand it, and I have a lot of kids that are not into mainstream sports, and they always come to me and say, "I can't believe he's sticking at it."
Yes.
That you know, he doesn't play anything else. He's always home in his room, but yeah, he can't wait to come here and play hockey and stuff like that. So that I always feel happy when I hear those.
That's
kind of
very good.
stories.
I think so. I have another one comment from someone who knows you very good. Always makes a serious effort to have training on, even if he has been traveling the day and night before. Dedication cannot be. It's hard word for me. Somebody used the tricky one. Question it with this man. The effort he puts into getting this sport noticed in Ireland is above and beyond. You know that person very good. That's amazing, actually, you know, and I hope so there will be someone who finally can help. Maybe someone from outside Ireland.
Yeah, there's always talks of, like, and a part of that trip when we went around Europe, we were traveling with some investors that were hoping to build an ice rink in Dublin. So that was a part of that trip. I was with the ice hockey president. You know, looking at facilities and how they're run and stuff like that. So it's going to take an awful lot of hard work. It's going to take a little bit of luck, and it's going to take the right person with the right motivation. I genuinely think that it can't be about money. It has to be about the kids or the people or the citizens or whoever it is that need to use it. But it is very viable, and I think local authorities know it is. They're starting to pay attention a little bit more. I've had some good meetings with some good people. We're still not there. It's still far away. But I don't plan on giving up anytime soon.
Very good. How often you travel with the boys?
Oh, so...
Because it's not only Ireland.
No.
It's outside Ireland.
Yeah, it's often. Like the 2 weekends ago, I was in Belfast on a Friday night. I was in Dublin on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday I was in Cork with different age groups and meetings and stuff like that. So it's constant. Not so long ago, I was in Montreal with the junior men's team. I was the senior coach with the junior men's national team. I'm coaching all the teams, the senior ladies, all the junior programs. I coach all the teams for Kilkenny Storm. I'm also involved in the junior men's inline team coaching. So it's constant.
Do you have time for yourself?
I consider that time for myself. It's never been any different. Since I was about 16, I've been taking sports seriously, back into kickboxing. I was training 6 days a week. I'd left school at 14, so I was constant. I was working. I was constantly training. I would train 6 times a week, sometimes twice a day. I was constantly travelling abroad, fighting and coaching. So for me, it's not any different. This is where myself and Patsy work so well together. So I've always been travelling and working. So it's not as if I just started it 10 years ago and our life changed. It didn't. It's always been that way. So she knew what she was getting into, and vice versa. So and now our kids do both kickboxing and hockey. So it's just moved on, and it's a hectic lifestyle. And again, it's another phrase I always use. I think it's cheaper than therapy. You know, for me, it's an outlet for me. I enjoy it. I'm not only a coach and a player. I'm also a parent. Going to watch my kids play. So, you know, there's different edges to the sword. As I say, it's not just, you know, people think, oh, you're great for doing this, but there's loads of different reasons. It's not just one. I enjoy every aspect of it. I enjoy the coaching. I enjoy the playing. I still play with the senior team. I enjoy watching my kids play, and I enjoy coaching other kids. And
I heard you went to Poland even, yeah?
We played in Poland in Gdansk and Ania, yeah. We went over there as the Storm many years ago, and yeah, it was fantastic. We travelled a bit and played a few teams, played in a local tournament, and then we had a couple of celebrations afterwards, and really enjoyed it. Yeah, we did.
Good.
We did.
Another one. Paul gives much more than 100% of himself for team, players and kids, and what is amazing, he never gave up. Thank you, Paul, for every lift for Victor and your passion. There's like a few parents, which one you knows.
Yeah.
Some of them they mention who is who. Yeah. Then the basic thing, I think so. We need somebody like sponsors and investors.
Yeah. Sponsors would be fantastic because it costs around $5,000 to play games. That's not including travel costs. That's just game fees and stuff like that. Then we have we always need jerseys. We always
Yes.
need, if we had jersey sponsors, it would be a huge thing. So, jerseys are another, and equipment. So with our junior program, probably to kit out a junior fully would probably cost about €300. So we provide most of that. We fundraise for many years. We through the Ice Hockey Association, where we're able to get equipment from America and stuff like that. So we're fortunate enough to be able to have kids come in and try out, get equipment, and then try it for a couple of sessions to see if they want to go on. So otherwise we would never survive, because you can't ask kids to come in and pay like €100 for a pair of skates and €50 for a stick, and then try it out and say, oh, I don't like it. So parents are not willing to do that, and rightly so.
And they are growing so fast, kids.
They're growing so fast. That's the other issue. So we have a great system now where if kids run out of skates, we were able to maybe do like a swap. They'll give us their old skates, and we give maybe slightly bigger skates, and it's working really, really well. But there's always a shortfall. If there was a sponsor that could come on board and help out, maybe a jersey sponsor or maybe an equipment sponsor, or somebody that would sponsor game fees, or there's lots to be sponsored.
If someone will be interesting to support you and support Storm, how they can find you?
A very easy find. My number is all over the internet. Maybe they could do it through this podcast, the information here, or through the Kilkenny Storm Facebook page, and they can messenger me, or if you just Google my name, my number comes up fairly often. But
remember, guys, Paul Cummins Storm Kilkenny, you can find on Facebook, and I hope so that someone can give the little bit of support.
It would be awesome.
One more thing I have to read for you. Just the last one. I'm just really looking forward to see your face when I'm reading. Paul's dedication to his club is surreal, 200%. We more than enjoy being part of the club and really appreciate his fire. Thank you from Paul, Fiona, and all of us. Of course, from the all parents, which one they are involved with your group. It's amazing actually what you're doing, and it's very impressive because you dedicate all your life.
Yeah, I don't see it that way.
I know it's always like that, somebody told me some people, which one they are stupid, they think they know everything, but someone who is very clever, they learns to the all life. And it's the same with talented people. They always say they're not good enough, or they can do it something more, or this is not something what they are doing is very special.
I all my life, like I say, when I started, I got breaks. People put effort into me. When I was young, my parents couldn't afford for us to do the training that I had to do, and my coach at the time knew it, and it didn't matter. So really, I'm just giving back what I was given. I enjoy it. I think it's good for your soul.
Yes.
And I don't plan on giving it up too soon.
Very good. Thank you so much for that. I have another jersey under. I have to show to everyone because I can't decide which one is better. But this one is more bright, and I hope so everyone will remember the podcast. And guys, Kilkenny Storm. Remember this one, and please support. We don't need much, just a little. Like if everybody just gave little something from themselves, that will be really, really amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Paul, for your time. And I wish you all the best. And I wish all the best to all the boys and girls which are involved with the Storm Kilkenny.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe Studio 10 and go for the Instagram also Coffee with Ania. After few weeks you can just put some question, and maybe you want to ask something, Paul. Looking forward, and see you next week. Bye. Go.